Sir Francis Bacon, Summary of the Great Instauration, Summary of Novum Organum. Hello and welcome to the discourse. We are discussing the Elizabethan era of English literature. The most important literary and scientific figure of the Golden Age was Sir Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon took birth on 22nd January 1561 at the York House in London. He was the first to be appointed as the Queen's Counsel in 1597. The Queen of England declared him as her legal advisor. After the death of the Queen, the new King James I also recognized the relevance of Francis Bacon and knighted him in 1603. In 1618, he was announced Baron Verulam, and in 1621, he was awarded as Viscount St. Alban. Bacon was a natural philosopher, an apt politician, an able writer, influential essayist, and the harbinger of the scientific revolution. Francis Bacon is known as the father of empiricism, who stressed on inductive reasoning and methodologies for scientific inquiries. His Baconian methodology of scientific inquiries are still accepted valid and are followed by the scientific community in its spirit. Bacon was the first to propose and explain the scientific experimental method, which was later on endorsed and accepted by science bigwigs including William Gilbert, Galileo, and Isaac Newton. In his incomplete book New Atlantis, Bacon espoused the new scientific methods required to be followed to harness the knowledge hidden in the nature, and it became a source of inspiration for the Royal Society of London, which is the National Academy of Applied Science of Britain. Bacon was strongly influenced by Aristotle, but he proposed inductive reasoning against the deductive reasoning and stoicism of Aristotle. There is a clear difference between inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. In deductive reasoning, a conclusion is reached reductively by applying general rules that hold true for the whole closed domain of a discourse. As for example, if the general statement is all planets revolve round the sun, and the specific statement is that the earth is a planet, then we can deductively reach to the conclusion that the earth revolves round the sun, which must be true because the general statement encompassing it, which is all planets revolve round the sun, is undeniably true. Deductive reasoning assures certainty of conclusion. Inductive reasoning is just opposite to the deductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning begins with specific experiments and statements, and as the data continues to gather and support a general information, a general statement is made about all the possible cases. A general statement is considered a most probable truth, which may not be true in some specific conditions, as anomalies and exceptions always remain in the scientific realm. So if I say that Mercury is a planet and it revolves round the sun, and Venus is also a planet and it also revolves round the sun, and the Earth is also a planet that revolves round the sun, then these data can be the base of a general statement that all planets revolve round the sun, which is derived through inductive reasoning and is the correct science. Bacon was born in the times of English Renaissance, which changed the patterns of religious orthodoxy to one in which the human life and natural world was celebrated. He was among the first to realize that the future will bring importance to scientific discoveries and invention, and he worked a lot towards the future. He died on 9th April 1626 while he was engaged in a scientific experiment on snow and its abilities to keep flesh preserved. Bacon wrote a lot of philosophical, religious, and scientific essays. We will cover all the major literary works of Sir Francis Bacon, and we are beginning with his first major work, The Great Instauration. Summary of The Great Instauration. The meaning of instauration is the process of renewing or restoring something. The Great Instauration was published in 1620. In his book Instauratio Magna, or The Great Instauration, Francis Bacon stressed on the need of reforming and restructuring all the process of knowledge for the advancement of learning the human nature and divine. This book was written in Latin. Francis Bacon was a religious Anglican person, and thus he proposed this new way of learning or the reformation of natural studies in the imitation of the divine work. The Bible suggests that the God took 6 days of creation to produce the whole creation of universe, and on the 7th day he took rest, which is known as the day of Sabbath, and is celebrated on every Sunday as a holiday. In the same manner, Bacon proposed his new way of restoration of processing knowledge in 6 steps. That is, he divided his great reformation in 6 parts, which are: Part 1 is Partitions of Sciences, De Augmentis Scientiarum. Part 2 is New Method or Novum Organum. Third part is Natural History or Historia Naturalis. Fourth is Ladder of the Intellect, Scala Intellectus. Fifth is Anticipations of the Second Philosophy or Anticipations Philosophiae Secunda. Sixth is the Second Philosophy or Active Science, Philosophia Secunda aut Scientia Activae. Francis Bacon was not only a philosopher or a writer, he was an administrator too, and he understood the future needs of the population and contemplated over it. He came to the conclusion that to reduce the miseries and problems of the general public and individuals, a great advancement of science and new inventions is necessary. To achieve this scientific advancement, he proposed an empirical way of progress in this book. The second part of this book was Novum Organum. Bacon suggested that while religion and spirituality restores a man to his innocent and pure state, scientific advancement is necessary to restore the man to his true self. In his words, restoration of science is part of partial returning of mankind to the state it lived before the fall. Francis Bacon is considered one of the fathers of modern science, and his Baconian method of inductive reasoning is a valid base of scientific experiments even to the date. Bacon also discussed the means and ends of science in Great Instauration. According to Bacon, it is the duty of man to inquire about the divine nature, and man should not fall to the error and believe that inquisition of nature is forbidden by the divine. He again mentioned the purpose of science and suggested that the mankind should seek scientific knowledge not for pleasure, contention, superiority over others, profit, fame, or power, but for the benefit and use of life, and the scientific advancement can only be perfected if it is directed and governed in charity for the benefits of others. Bacon also discussed religion, atheism, absence of religion, and superstitions. Bacon suggested that a minor inclination of man towards philosophy renders him to atheism. However, a deeper inclination towards philosophy leads him to the understanding of no religion. Bacon himself was a religious man, and his book was about the new ways to inquire about the divine and the natural world. He further mentioned the follies of those who fall for superstitions and suggested that even an atheist can be guided towards the outward moral character, as atheism leads him to delve in philosophy, sense, natural piety, reputation, and laws that makes him to behave good. On the other hand, a superstitious man declines all senses, philosophies, and laws, and boasts only to the monarchy erected in his own mind. He mentioned that atheists hardly proved to be a reason to worry to states, as in case of Caesar Augustus, when atheism was in vogue, people were civil and peaceful. However, religious zealots and superstitious often bring troubles to the state. He suggested that the science or the natural philosophy is the remedy to superstitions. According to Bacon, science is the most faithful attendant of religion, as religion is the revelation of God's will and science is the contemplation over God's power. Bacon also optimistically suggested the future success of modern science while mentioning a quote from the Bible, Book of Daniel according to which knowledge will continue to increase. Bacon added a quote from the book of Daniel in the frontispiece of his book, The Great Instauration, which says, "Many shall go to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." The quote is in Latin. The front cover depicts a huge ship or a galleon passing through the two mythical pillars of Hercules standing on either side of the Strait of Gibraltar. The mythical pillars of Hercules represent the geographical boundaries of the old world that were breached during the age of exploration. Bacon suggests that his new reformation will bring success to the scientific revolution in the same manner as the age of exploration became the reason for new discoveries and experimentation. Summary of Novum Organum, New Method. It was the second part of the bigger work, The Great Instauration, and was published a few months after the Great Instauration in 1620. While Bacon planned to write all 6 parts of the divisions that he envisaged in the Great Instauration, Novum Organum remained the last part of his book, as he couldn't complete the third part, which was titled Preparative Towards Natural History. The other title of this book was The Great Instauration Part 2. Francis Bacon wrote both these books in Latin. Bacon read Aristotle in great details, and the title Novum Organum relates to Aristotle's work Organon, which details Aristotelian treatise on logic and syllogism. Bacon proposed that his new method of learning is much better than Aristotle's Organon, and his method is now known as the Baconian method. This second book was instrumental in the development of modern scientific methods, and hence Bacon is termed as the father of experimental philosophy by many philosophers, including Voltaire. Bacon rejects the method of a priori deduction for finding the natural truth. Rather, he suggests the method of experiments and careful observations to reach to the probable truth through inductive reasoning. Novum Organum is also divided in 2 parts. The book 1 is titled Aphorisms Concerning the Interpretation of Nature and the Kingdom of Man. In the first part, Bacon criticized the then prevailing way of scientific inquiries, which was syllogism, which according to him was inadequate. Then he puts forth his method of inductive reasoning as the replacement. According to Bacon, deductive reasoning depends on the asserted truth, which needs to be considered absolute truth without any doubt. But if there is any doubt regarding them, then syllogism is rendered fruitless and no information can be expected through it. Therefore, Bacon suggested that the only hope is inductive reasoning through experiments on specific cases one by one, and then generalizing the probable truths. The basis of Novum Organum and the Great Instauration is to reform the then current spectrum of knowledge and to replace it with a new method. So in the book 1 of Novum Organum, Bacon mentioned the 4 idols or the impediments that obstruct the way towards scientific revolution. According to Bacon, these 4 obstructions are, as he mentioned in Novum Organum, the 4 idols. The first is idols of tribes, idola tribus. He suggests that the idol of tribe is rooted in man's nature and causes a prejudice, a misconception that human sense is the measure of natural things, while it is not true. The human perception is his own ability, not the ability of the universe, which is infinitely vast in comparison to the minute human conscience. Humans consider their perceptions to be true and often make mistakes. As for example, generally it appears that the planets move in perfect circles, while it is not true. Idols of the cave. Idols of the cave represents personal prejudices. The idols of the cave consists of the conceptions or doctrines which are dear to the individuals, who cherishes them because of their upbringing, culture, education or social structure, without possessing any evidence of their truth. The idol of cave may also arise due to personal accidents and contingent experiences which may not be true. Idols of the marketplace. These idols arises through the false conceptions based on the public human communication. They enter our mind through vogue culture, words and names. Bacon suggests that even if words are based on reason, they affect our understanding. Idols of the theatre. Bacon assumes that the whole world is a huge theatre, so the idols of theatre represent the prejudices and misconceptions owing to the established philosophical and cultural notions in a society. These philosophical schools present the world as a fictional world which was never tested on the basis of inquiring experiments. In the second book, Bacon suggests the renunciation of idols and proposes his new way of scientific inquiries. He retains the four Aristotelian causes, which are material, formal, efficient, and final cause. However, unlike Aristotelian philosophers who claim that the final cause is most important one, Bacon suggests that in many cases the final cause is most inadequate. Also, Bacon suggests that in some cases the final cause is detrimental to the modern science. Bacon suggests that the formal cause is the most valuable for inductive reasoning. According to Bacon, the formal cause are the universal laws of nature. The Great Instauration and its second part, Novum Organum, was a major scientific and philosophical work by Francis Bacon. We will continue to discuss his other major literary works. Please stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.